Fabulous. It is so wonderful to have you all here for our full moon in Scorpio. And on top of that, it is a super moon, which means the moon is as close to Mama Earth as it can get. And so it will be huge when we're able to see it. So it's so exciting. But that also means that it brings in a ton of energy, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. So let us create our beautiful space here. You know, we love to do that with our hands in the prayer pose. Just a deep breath in and out. Allowing our hands to fall forward. And spreading apart this curtain of time, space, reality. And just out to the left of our left hand is the past. And out to the right of our right hand is the future. And we're just going to leave all that in the care of the energy that creates worlds. And here in the center, we've created our beautiful space of now. Allowing ourselves to just be here and be present. Even as we lower our arms, this space of now remains. Taking another beautiful deep breath in and out. And I'm being called to use our rattle today. Feeling your feet sinking in deeper and deeper to Mother Earth, feeling yourself becoming one with her. Yeah. Allowing the energy to flow up through your ground cord and up into your body, the abundance, the healing, the sustenance and stability that Mother Earth gives us as creatures with physical bodies. So much fun to be here on this life's journey and experience. Now going up, 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 and calling down beautiful golden cosmic light coming down through your rings of creativity, down through your crown chakra, down into your body, filling your body with beautiful golden light. And allowing these energies to mix here in your body, in your field, in your aura. Yes, 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 yes. As we open our circle, inviting in all those who love us unconditionally, our guides, welcoming in, of course, Archangel Michael and Joan of Arc and Sophia. Welcoming in your higher self. Welcome in any special particular guides that you work with, inviting them into our circle. And just imagining, sensing, feeling even our circle becoming larger and larger as all of our sisters join us. The energy is full and palatable. It just feels so good. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you as we are here with our, again, super full moon in Scorpio. This full moon happens right as Scorpio's ruler, Pluto, goes retrograde. You knew there was a lot of energy, and here you are. Pluto was literally at a standstill in the days leading up to today, and will still be in this standstill because it's a very slow moving planet for a few days following before it goes retrograde. This energy is designed to get your heart totally engaged in your life. Hmm. Hmm. There's also an incredible quadruple T square to Saturn. So Sun, Uranus, Venus, and Mercury are in a stellium, and they are all in the stable, secure Taurus. And they create a 90-degree square to Saturn, while opposite of the Sun, the Moon completes that T square. We can use this energy to discover how your career and your life are being pushed to new limits, while boundaries, restrictions, and responsibilities are being taken to a new level. I think we can all go whew on that one. But the universe never leaves us adrift because to balance out the intensity of this full moon, we have a blessing of a gorgeous grand trine between the moon, Mars, and Jupiter. You're going to find that you will feel fired up and enthusiastic about any task you engage in. Opportunities for more independence and success are fueled by your initiative and your passion. When cosmic energies come to a head, as they are right now, it is a perfect time to check in on your life in a deeper way. Scorpio allows subconscious patterns to be revealed in ways that you can bring up the energy, love on them, and let them go free, or shift the patterns so that they're in flow with who you now are. So we've got the options. We can bring them up and love on them. And then we can decide which is best. Do we just set them free, return them to the universe, or are they a pattern that if we tweak them a bit could actually support us? So going to our gates, you see them there on our altar. The one that looks orange, that is the gate that the sun is lighting up. It's gate 27, which is the gate of accountability and challenge. Woo, yes. Well, actually, it's the gate of accountability. The next one is adventure and challenge. So accountability. This is the one the sun is lighting up, and it's the whole message is around caring for yourself first so that you can then care for others. So the challenge is to care without over caring, to allow others to assume responsibility for their own challenges and choices, to learn to accept other people's values, to not let guilt cause you to compromise what is good and right for you. And we've talked about this many, many times, that Truth is what is true for you in this moment. And my truth, what is right, I love this, good and right for me in this moment, may not be good and right for anybody else. That's why I never, ever, at least my goal and intention is to never say, all right, this is the way it is, and you must do this. No, it's a sharing. This is what I found, and it's worked so cool. Try it, see what you think. Because it may not be the right season for you. It may never be the right truth for you. Who knows? But we won't know till we experiment. Mastery of gate 27 is the ability to support, nurture, and lift others up, to sense and to act on what is necessary to increase the well being of others and the world, to quote unquote feed people with healthy food and healthy nourishment to ensure that they thrive, to hold others accountable for their own self love and self empowerment. Now, the lowest form of expression of gate 27, which we have all participated in, codependency, guilt, overcaring, overgiving, and martyrdom. When you slip into those, you just go, oh, gate 27's out of balance. Let me shift it over some. So our EFT for gate 27, we'll pull it up here for you. There's two here, so I have to make sure I have the right one. All right, our EFT for gate 27. Even though it's hard to say no, I now choose to take the actions that are correct for me. I release my guilt and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Whew, deep breath in. Woo. Yes. And if you want to take screenshots of these, feel free. And our affirmation for gate 27. I have a nurturing and loving nature. It is my gift to be able to love and care for others. I know that the greatest expression of my love is to treat others as capable and powerful. I support when necessary, and I let go with love so that my loved ones can discover their own strength and power. Really sink into that one. Beautiful. Now the moon, sorry, this gate that we've used, gate 28 is the one lit up, woohoo, by the moon. It is adventure and challenge. This gate invites us to explore what we need to release and let go of in order to stay in alignment with our intentions. So we're going to release anywhere that you have let fear of things being too difficult, meaningless, or challenging stop you from fulfilling your dream. I'll take a deep breath in. feel that one. Where has fear of something being too difficult, too meaningless, that's a big one for me, or too challenging, stop you from fulfilling your dreams? So the challenge of gate 28 is to not let struggle and challenge leave you feeling defeated and despairing. To learn to face life as an adventure. To not let challenge and struggle cause you to feel as if you failed. And I know we talk a lot about ease, and we can still, okay, it's going to feel, we can still work hard. We can still expend energy. We can give it all we've got, and it still be done in ease. Sometimes when people are still coming into this work and they hear, oh, everything should be simple and easy. Yes, but that doesn't mean, which is what I love here, you don't let a challenge or a struggle cause you to feel as if you failed. No, it's the universe asking, do you want this thing that we're delivering to you in pink or blue? You didn't tell us. So it's just more information. Mastery of gate 28 is to learn to share from your personal experience, your struggles and your triumphs. To persevere and to know that the adventures in your life deepen your ability to transform life into a meaningful journey. To understand that your struggles help deepen the collective ideas about what is truly valuable and worth creating. Now, the unbalanced expression or the lowest vibration of the gate is refusing to take action out of fear that the journey will be too painful, too wrought with struggle, or that you will fail. To feel like a failure and to fall into victim consciousness. And the EFT setup for this one is, even though everything feels hard, I now trust that I am mastering what is truly important in my life. I trust the lessons the universe brings me, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself. A deep breath in and out. And the affirmation. I am here to push the boundaries of life and what is possible. I thrive in situations that challenge me. I am an explorer on the leading edge of consciousness, and my job is to test how far I can go. I embrace challenge. I am an adventurer. I share all that I have learned from my challenges with the world. My stories help give people greater meaning, teach them what is truly worthy of creating, and inspire people to transform. Taking a deep breath in and out. That's another powerful one there. So from our introduction to our energy today, the Scorpio, the Pluto, the trines and T-squares and our gates, what has come up for you? What are you thinking and feeling?
This is basically my entire day in a nutshell. Okay, so I've been purging our barn. Like it just came on me last night, and I was like, it's all gotta go. And I've been doing it with the enthusiasm of like it's my favorite thing in the world. So I had this big mirror. It was like 65 inches long. It was huge. I posted it on Facebook. Somebody bought it like within 30 minutes. I was so excited. She asked if I could deliver it. I said, sure. And I asked for a little extra money. No problem. Hustled this morning to drive it out there because I realized she was like 40 minutes away. I thought she was much closer. Get it out there, drop it off. Get home. She messages me and says, hey, it fell over and shattered. And I was like, I will be giving you your $45 back.
Well, wait.
No. It fell over because of the way I set it up.
Oh,
I didn't
bummer.
take the time to check to make sure that it was sturdy. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been so quick.
Yeah.
Because it's a windy day, nobody was there. I said, I'll just drop it off, and I just leaned it up against the side of a deck. And so I was just like, However, the drive took me on some windy back roads that were absolutely gorgeous. I don't regret the drive. Don't regret having that mirror out of the barn. They just moving that one thing out was like a windfall of 25 other things. And I actually, like, the nurturing part of me was like, wow, I feel really bad that I didn't take the time to just double check, set it up. And I also will not be doing deliveries from here on out ever again.
That was a very cheap lesson, wasn't it?
I hit on the nurturing side where I was like, wow, I feel really bad that happened, and I will help you through this, but I'm also not going to set myself up to go through that again. So I'm just feeling like the Scorpio, like, transformation and transmutation. And I was like, it's really interesting that fell and broke. I wonder what the message was in all of that, like a mirror breaking. And then I also posted up our old little baby rocker. And I was like, okay, well, I guess this just needs to go to the dump, because everybody jumped on the comments and was like, that product's recalled. And I was like, okay. It's old as sin, so I guess it'll just, I was like, oh, nothing. I'm like, things just want to get broken for good right now. It's such a weird feeling, because I'm actually not wanting to dispose of things permanently. I'm actually trying my best to align with rehoming things, but it doesn't want to go that way.
Maybe the mirror did not want to be in that household.
Yeah,
possibly. And it's like wild. That's kind of my gut instinct. Also, my intuition was saying that mirror just wants to be done.
Yeah.
Because it was like this giant mirror, and it was gorgeous, but it was plastic. And like when I bought it the first time, I was like, wow, I actually feel like I really overpaid for that. I thought it was wood. And I get there to pick it up, and it was plastic. And I was like, wow, I feel really let down by this mirror.
Oh.
Maybe it just needs to end its life.
Oh my. All right. Yeah. Mm.
I have something that kind of happened over yesterday and today. We have our next door neighbors have horses and they have chickens. And whenever they go out of town, they ask if I'll collect the eggs, which of course is awesome. And I have to walk right by the horses to go to the chickens. So I always say hello to the horses. And they asked me to take care of them or to gather the eggs on Thursday and Friday because they were going to be out of town. Well, they didn't come back yesterday. So, I didn't want to bother them, but I'm thinking there's like 10 eggs a day. I don't want, these chickens won't have any place to lay. So early yesterday morning, when they hadn't come back, the day before, I just went out and collected Saturday's eggs. And it was kind of, before dawn, but it was light out. And I was going to say hello to the horses. And I just felt like I'm not even supposed to be here. They said to come, only on these days. And I just totally went in this place of like, I don't even know if I should be collecting these, and like not feeling like I'm doing a service, but feeling like I'm intruding. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so they came back last night, and this morning I get a text from the neighbor, and she tells me that one of their horses yesterday unexpectedly gave birth. And the horse, it was a little girl horse, and it was a new mom, and so she didn't take this birth sac off of the horse properly, and the
Mm.
horse died,
Oh.
and the little baby died. And so I have this like huge thing hanging over me of like, and they figure the best that they can figure is that the horse was born yesterday morning, right? And so I have this huge thing over me, like, shouldn't my instincts have known, and why was I in a place of fear? Maybe I was supposed to be there, and like all this stuff, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and of course they have it as well because they were supposed to come back a day before, and these are miniature horses, the one that gave birth, so
Mm.
it's hard to know when it will come.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be weeks off, and they were at a family event, and so anyway, so today's affirmations and things, it's really just a coming to me in a place of trust, of letting go of what's mine and what's not mine, and not having to know the reasons why.
Yes.
And it was just kind of huge for me to because I know, I mean, I was even yesterday, I was like, oh, aren't you going to say hello to the horses, Kathleen? And I was like talking to myself back, no, I'm not even supposed to be here. I'm not even sure if they want me to collect the eggs today, and it just, so anyway, thank you for the affirmations, because it just is letting go
Mm.
of what's mine to hold and what's not mine to hold,
Yeah. Yeah. That is so, I mean, it's just so interesting how these pieces, oh, okay, I know what it makes you, it's kind of like there was like this little thing on the edge of my mind going, that reminds me of this. Do y'all remember the 1,000-year-old story about the Chinaman? And his son came home, he'd found a wild horse, and everybody in the village is like, this is so wonderful. And the old Chinaman said, maybe so, maybe not. And then the son was riding, trying to break the horse, and he broke his leg. And oh, this is so awful. And the Chinaman's like, maybe so, maybe not. And before the kid's leg could heal, the army came through and conscripted all the young men of the village. And everybody's like, this is so wonderful. Your son was saved, but ours are gone. And the old man's going, maybe so, maybe not. But it's the idea of who knows why stuff happens. And I think it's really cool how we kind of instantly put a positive spin on it, but yet we're still in judgment. We're still, how much, okay, Sophia's coming. At what point do we put a positive spin on it? Because otherwise we would put a negative spin on it. And how much energy would we save if we stopped putting any spin on anything? Which is really when we do the dance. And, the one question that's, what am I making this mean? That's what it's talking about. Where am I expending energy that is not present moment energy to make something feel right and okay so that I can feel safe in the universe? Why do I not feel safe in the universe just feeling safe in the universe? So thanks, Sophia, because I'm asking out of myself as well. What is it? That's the $64 million question. So moving to the dance, speaking of, I had a question here, but from what we've brought up, I'm just going to open up to the dance to, whatever you want to dance with. The question that I had here, and it was prompted by the stuff about making mistakes and all, was what is the number one mistake or failure that kind of runs over and over and over in my mind that I let stop me from the big step that I want to take? And if that's what comes like immediately into your mind, let's dance with that. If there's something else from what you've shared today that you'd rather dance with, hey, go for it. We're just dancing. So whatever works best. But the energy of this full moon is this idea of releasing old patterns. And again, whether we release them and just gone, or we release the way we use that pattern and we upgrade it, if you will, to be a pattern that now serves us instead of a pattern that holds us back. And I kind of like that from this idea here in the Gate 28 affirmation about how our stories help give people greater meaning and teach them what is truly worthy of creating and inspire people to transform. It's the idea of these stories that we're currently using us to hold us back, to shift that story. So we're removing the energy from it, the wounding out of the story, so that when we share the story, it has zero effect on us energetically or emotionally, but it can be used as a guiding light for someone else who is going through something similar. And so our stories are able to help people know that, ooh, that's survivable, if you will. So however you would enjoy dancing, I'm going to mute myself a few minutes and let's go ahead and dance with it. And then we'll do some art.
Roz, can you just repeat that question? The dance prompt, what
Yes.
holding me back? Is that it?
So this is how I wrote it when Sophia gave it to me yesterday.
Okay.
This is the number one mistake / failure that I let stop me from taking the big step that I want to take.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. How's everyone doing? Need a few more minutes or are you good?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Perfect. All right. So let's pull out. All right. First, get rid of all this energy. How could I forget that? Whew. So putting our hands on all of this energy, any energy here that belongs to someone else, we return it to sender with love and consciousness. Deep breath in and return it. Any energy here that belongs to something else, we release it into the universe to be transmuted into love. Deep breath in and release it. Any energy here that belongs to us, we see you, we hear you, we feel you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful. And now covering it all up and creating something beautiful out of it. Always my best favorite part. Did anything come up that was surprising, took you by surprise or gave you a really big aha?
Well, it's really funny because um, the thing that my biggest mistake or failure was either going at a project like with reckless abandon and not pre-planning and making sure I have everything set up before I start it, or just totally like flatlining and saying, well, it is the way it is, I can't fix it, like I can't change that thing. And as I got through that, I got to the end and I was like, this is all really funny because I posted that mirror for sale to put a whole bunch of, like, I've been putting not just the mirror, but other items up for sale on Marketplace. I was like, I did that to sort of like create some extra money so I could start getting all of the things for Gordy's bedroom ahead of time so I could be efficient. And here I am back at square one. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Huh. And then that's where it ended, but I was just like, that's wild. Maybe I'm just at the beginning. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. So does it make you feel, is there a pattern there?
You're muted.
Like I start projects probably without being totally planned. And that doesn't always, it just makes them take longer. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. They just take longer and they probably cost me more money in the long run.
So when you start a project and then you realize, oh, I don't have, whatevs, what do you do then?
I just stop and say, okay, I'll either just pause on this for the day, or if it's a convenient time, I'll sort of look around and be like, what else do I need to get? Is there anything I'm missing? Like, so I stopped at the hardware store on the way home today and I was like, I need more sanding pads. And I was like hell bent on getting them. But the funny thing was, I was just standing in the store. I'm like, these aren't the sanding discs I want. And I need to get more paint anyways. Maybe I should just wait. And I went, nah. And I grabbed them and I left. And I was like, what if I had just waited? And maybe there were other projects that wanted to be done. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just and and what I'm feeling that we're looking for here is, so I'll share mine. Mine is, I went through how much money through October I will owe on PayPal credit. And then I immediately go into have you lost your ever loving mind? Blah, 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 blah. So it is, the pattern is that I follow my intuition. I even will pendulum half the time. I was trying to think of how often. But I mean, so I make the decisions that feel good in the moment. It's the pattern of, after the moment, having something to say about it. And it comes down to, the pattern is, there's a new affirmation that I'm working on that apparently hasn't stuck yet. Any money I invest in my truth returns to me exponentially and quickly. And as I was writing this in today in this dance, it was, so what is your truth? And then that felt like, yeah, here we go again. Back to square one. So that's the pattern for me. And it's, so in the questioning of the energy of the moment, it is, so what do I want to do with that pattern? Do I want to finally let it go? Or, yeah, I can't really figure out how I would twist it around to be supportive. But I could use the pattern this one last time to point out that there's still a little bit of work to do on owning the value of what I offer. And that's what it felt like from the dance, that it boiled down to is, that's what's kicking the pattern. Instead of, I'm setting up a real business and I need certain things, and those are the things that will be paid off on somebody else's dime because I'm using PayPal credit. And yeah, so that's kind of where, when I was asking about, what was the patterns and those things, is, is there a pattern going on there that's showing you something that is your next step toward empowerment?
Yeah, definitely. Because, well, it's funny. I always say I'm just following the breadcrumbs. And I read a blog post yesterday morning. It was like 3 tips on renovating your kitchen while living in your house. And one of the tips, it just stuck out to me because I was like, that makes so much sense. Was she said, months in advance, start ordering the things that you're going to need to do your kitchen. Your appliances, order your cabinets, order your flooring, anything that you're going to need. Once demo is done to install, have it on hand. Like, basically just clear your garage and just store everything until it's all there, and then start the demo.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Like, wild. Because she goes, because her last point was that then it will only take 6 to 8 weeks to do the full kitchen. because you have everything.
Right.
Something gets delayed on shipping or something doesn't end up right or this or that, the other thing, like your kitchen's not torn apart and you're not waiting an extra week.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, it just like I paused and I just took that in and I sunk into the feeling of like, what would it feel to already have the lighting fixtures for Gordy's room purchased? What would it feel like to already have his bedding purchased and his bedstands? Because he doesn't have any of that, and his rug and all of that. And I was like, if I had that on hand right now, his room would be 100% complete within the next 3 weeks. It just sort of stopped me in my tracks. And I went, how easy.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, I'm just reveling in that feeling of like the floor gets done and then everything gets moved in. And I'm comparing that feeling to way that, say, Ruby's room looks, where like she's got a bed and a dresser and a little desk in there, but it's very like haphazard. Like, we moved in, here's all your stuff, we threw it in there, get settled. Yeah. And I'm like, what if I did this with every room? I could have this house done in a year.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
so let's play with this. So what's the pattern that prevents that from happening?
I'm trying to figure out how to put this in words because it's like in my head and I know the feeling. It's the hang up is money, like spending money. Like, oh, I don't have that money right now, so I'll just wait. And so so that was like my motivation of he needs a box spring and a mattress. And I was like, oh, it's $300, but it's not that I couldn't go on Amazon right now and buy it, but I was like, then I'm pulling from money that's allocated to go somewhere else. And that was very like frivolous and old me and irresponsible. But then on the flip side, I'm going, but if it's all done in 3 weeks and I have everything, the money always circles back. So am I really setting myself up for failure if I just go all in and say, okay, the next 3 weeks I'm just buying stuff for his room and that's it? I mean, I've got my budget all squared away so I know what's left over, and there's a good chunk of money every week that goes to the house. So what if that is the house thing that money goes towards, is it's going towards his room right now?
Yeah. Well, and I think too, possibly the other piece is that what if it was also like you find a light fixture that you're like, wow, for Gordy's room, when we're doing that, and you go ahead and get it. And it might be 10 months before you actually have everything gathered to do the room.
Yeah.
So I think there's also a little, maybe, I don't know, but is there a little bit of, okay, I'm doing the room, I'm geared to doing the room, we're doing the room. The rest of the world is going to stop till I gather all the stuff and get this room done.
Yes.
Is that a pattern that's serving you?
No. And I think the thing that's holding me up from gathering things like 10 months in advance is that I don't want to be like hanging on to stuff for that long. Because I'm like, that just feels uncomfortable.
Okay.
It feels counterintuitive to all of the hoeing out that I'm doing, but maybe the hoeing out that I'm doing is creating space so I can improve that process.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, 10 months was just an arbitrary, threw it out there. I doubt it would take that long once you made up your mind and
Yeah.
you knew what you were looking for and that kind of a thing. Yeah. So just, we're just playing here with what is our habitual way of being, and is it serving us? Is there a way that would be even more engaging and more useful?
Yeah.
Kathleen, what's coming up for you?
Oh, I have so many habitual ways of being. Let's choose one that's not serving me. Okay, so in business, I mean, this has been for years and years and years. I have an idea, and it's like brilliant, truly brilliant, right? And I learn as much as I can about it, and then I share and create enthusiasm, and I develop it, and I never launch it. And that has been like decades of my life. And so when I felt into that, I was feeling like, okay, so what is there a reoccurring feeling? And I either, sometimes I lose interest, which is, neither here nor there. I don't have any energy with that. But when I do have a desire to launch and I'm not, I was thinking, okay, sometimes I feel like I'm not good enough. I fear success, or I fear of not belonging. And then that like really triggered me. So I was like, okay, so do I, so I think a good shift for me when I start these things is just ask myself at the very beginning, do I want to belong in this energy? Because just because it's a good idea, or just because people need it, or just because I can do it, doesn't mean that I actually want to be in that.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of a different way of looking at things for me.
Yes. Yes. And I think it was actually Amy I said this to. One of the things that we don't really appreciate is that so many of the ideas that we get are not ours. They're not for us. But we are the only open vessel. Well, we're not the only one, because other people will have it too. But the open vessels are not that many that the universe can get new ideas out to the planet through. And sometimes that's all it is we are just channeling a energy, an idea, a solution to something that someone has asked for, but they are not able to receive it. And so it's coming through us, but we're not supposed to work on it. We will never bring it to fruition because it's not ours to do. And really catching that is like, holy Toledo. Whew.
Thank you.
But yeah. And there's another one of my, with mine, because that's, when I look at the amount of money, I don't know why I fight that I'm supposed to teach around money. I mean, it's been my biggest thing my entire life. It's just go with it. You're supposed to teach around money. That's it. Because how much money have I spent on stuff and then I've never done anything with it? Because I lost interest. Just, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, perhaps is the way of putting some of it. And yeah, so it's very interesting. So thank you, Scorpio energy, I think, for bringing all this up. Oh, so how's your art going?
Great.
Oh, good. I've got some pieces here I'm going to have to complete later. Oh, yeah. So be you, looking cute, and love life, live life. So those are my words, and I will wrap this up at another some point. Oh, beautiful. So let's pull out our intuitive art piece and get your higher guidances comments, if you will, on what we're doing. So actually, the exact question that I had brought to bring forward is, what pattern is being brought to my attention to be healed and released? And it really feels like, I'm like, okay, we're giving you a big assignment here, higher self. How are you going to work this out? Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm going to mute out while we. So the question again is, what pattern is being brought to my attention to be healed and released? Anybody need more time?
All set.
Want to share yours?
Okay, I did it different. I did it with water this time.
Okay.
I wasn't sure how it was gonna go, but I did it, and I love it.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if you can see, but over here is like a really light blue,
Mm-hmm.
like super light. But blue is my color for like spirit and air and like connection with the divine. And then this is like a reddish pink, and I just kept going back for it. So like I did this one, and then I did that one, and then I made this big one, and it's kind of like a rocket ship.
Mm-hmm.
And like my
That's
wing
what I saw. Yeah, rocket. Yeah.
is taking off because red is my color for like energy, and pink is like softness. And I love this little wash right here that's like just like a little, very like feminine burst of energy. Like, just let my wings take me is kind of what I feel.
Beautiful.
And I wish that the camera picked up that little like splash of blue.
Yeah, we can see it.
That's what she was saying. And then there's this little green spot over here. And green is like grounding in nature.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't put that there, and I don't recall touching the green with anything. So I find that really funny that little squiggle over there. Like,
So the fairies had a message for you, huh?
yeah. So cool.
So what's it? How do you feel when you see it?
It just feels like stay connected, co-create, and my tank will be fueled in the right direction. It's like lift off. You will have lift off.
Oh, love it. Oh, Kathleen, can you share yours?
I think she left.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to sign off now. Thank you. I'll catch the rest on the replay.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let me share mine. Let's see. I need to. Flip it around. Yes. There it is. Okay. A little closer. So very interesting. I don't know what these are, but it's in russet, so that's a brown, and that's grounded, stability. And it actually started up here. So I love how there's kind of a loop there.
Legal.
Yeah, and then this one's interesting because it kind of is a little concave here. So that's interesting. And I was looking at it, for the pattern. This kind of a whirlwindy kind of thing, that's actually malachite, which I looked up all the definitions for malachite and have them on my list here. But the one that's for germane for today is malachite is a symbol for releasing outworn patterns. You stand it. And then the third one that went down was this circle, and that's in olive. And olive is one of my green colors for growth. And it can either be that growth is grounded or growth is stagnant. So almost the feeling of this groundedness on this side is almost like it's stepping stones almost. And then there's just working through this any patterns that come to me that are outworn, I can just release them. And so like that, the one I especially spoke of today, I'm just done with that. I'm done with second guessing. It's funny because what's been in my face for the last week, it was another client. It was the same kind of thing there. And then something else. And I got sucked over into that. And then I was just talking to Jim, and he says, "You're really worked up about that." And it's this idea of, oh man, this is big. I mean, I can feel it as I'm saying it. The idea of taking what and who you are today back into the past and going, why did you do that back then? Well, I did it back then because I wasn't where you are now, Dean Matt.
Mm-hmm.
And there was actually someone who, I mean, she was on this whole rant. Oh my God, forever. It's like watching a train wreck, where you want to leave, but you just can't.
Yeah.
And in the end of the whole purpose was, well, 100 years from now, I want people to look at my business and know that I really had heart. And I'm like, is that not living outside of the present moment? What the hell? How advanced will society be in 100 years? But yet, are we not looking back at people who were 250 years ago, who lived life 250 years ago and going, they shouldn't have done that? Well, hell no. But they didn't know that 250 years ago. Get into the present moment. And yet, even whether I'm going back 3 days, 6 months, or 12 years ago, about the money I have invested and second guessing, blaming myself, wondering why I did it, whatever words I put on it, that's just creating all this chaos.
And you know what? I totally resonate with that because that is what I do when it comes to buying stuff for the house. I will find a light fixture that I absolutely love, and then I find all of the reasons to second guess it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why? Why don't I just trust that I love it and trust that I can make it work?
Yeah.
And trust that it's the right one.
Yeah. And yes, 5 years from now, it might not be in your taste anymore. And you change it out.
Who cares?
But you enjoyed it for 5 years. Okay, it took us the entire temple to finally get to the gist of this. Life is for living and loving and enjoying.
Yeah.
And if tomorrow, 4 years, 100 years from now, we want something different, then have something different. You didn't make a mistake when it happened.
Oh, and that is like the one thing I look at people like interior designers and I'm like, how are you just so fluid in changing things out when you decide that you're just over that style?
Uh-huh.
And that is like such the Taurus Scorpio part of me that's like, no, I want to hang on to it forever. Like the thing I'm gonna buy is gonna be the thing that lasts me 100 years. And
Mm-hmm.
Scorpio comes in and goes, oh, sister, there's gonna be an end to this chapter. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're not just open to the fact that that's gonna happen, you're gonna be in for a world of hurt.
Yes, yes. So this is a pattern that we can release. And that's, and I have it, which is so cool because I have it in other places in my life. You remember way back, how long ago has Periscope days been?
Mm-hmm.
When I would go, this is my truth. This is what I believe. This is what I know as true for me. Tomorrow morning, I may show up here and tell y'all, ooh, I woke up this morning and that's total bullshit. I reserve the right to expand and grow. And yet, in business and in other areas of my life, I am not giving myself that grace to expand and grow.
Yes.
So we don't buy anything. Because if this can't be the perfect one that's going to last me forever, I'm just not going to get one. So how many do we have? None.
None.
How much pleasure are we getting out of it? None.
None. He's got a light that is not even attached to the ceiling because we put it up and it fell down. And I was like, huh, guess that's a sign.
Yeah.
Like the next day, we installed it and I walked in and I pulled the string and it fell off. And I was like, it's still on, still attached.
Too funny. Oh my God. So this has been glorious. So I'm going to close out the records and then I will be right back for your diamond. Don't you love diamonds? All right. Hmm. Hmm. Thank you guys. So Amy, what is your diamond?
If I keep telling myself it's supposed to last 100 years, I'm going to end up with nothing. Or like if it's not the perfect time, or if the money's not perfectly so, or like this room will never get done.
Yeah.
Like at some point you need to make decisions, and as long as we're leaning on source, we can trust that our decisions are going to be perfect, because at some point, even if we decide to change our mind, we're going to be like, oh, that led me to here, and it's just following the breadcrumbs. There's nothing wrong.
Yes. Something you said a minute ago reminded me of Abraham Hicks, where they said, make a decision and make it right.
Yeah.
In other words, you got all these decisions, all these choices. Well, we're going to go in this direction, and things will open up in that direction if we quit turning around and going, but what if I had chosen that? What if I'd have chosen that? What if I'd have gone that way? That's when we're stuck in our wheels.
Yeah.
So okay, we are decorating a room around a Jenny Lynn bed frame.
Yeah.
The end. And it's going to be fabulous. Fabulous.
It's going to be it was literally the piece that pulled it all together. And then when this information like landed in my lap, I was like, oh, I've got the bed.
Yeah.
Now all like this whole checklist of stuff like landed, and I was like, oh, now I think there was an opening where it's like I feel ready.
Yeah.
Because I have the foundational piece of the room, and I didn't have that. Like I had the colors, but you can do anything with colors. You can put any style to colors.
Yeah.
Oh, this feels amazing now.
Oh, well, this has been wonderful. So let us bring our beautiful temple to a close. Those of you who are here energetically, we invite you to share your diamonds, your drawings, your ahas, whatever comes to you, in our low messenger group, because we always love, love, love to see the physical evidence when you are energetically with us. So thank you, everyone. We're going to return energy. So any energy that belongs to someone else, we return to sender with love and consciousness. Deep breath in. Any energy that belongs to something else, we release all of that. Beautiful. Now calling your energy back. One nice deep breath in. Allowing your energy to ride your breath back to your system. And again, sensing and feeling your energy settle in where it belongs. And one final time, ending in a beautiful hug. Saying to this energy that just came back, I see you, I feel you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We thank all of those who joined us here, our healing guides, Sophia, all of our higher selves, all of those who love us unconditionally, who joined us today here in our circle. And with great love, we declare our circle complete. Namaste, my friends.